Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 298. And in today's episode, we'll talk about the most overlooked hazard out there, which is assumptions. We assume things are safe. I've heard people say, I've done the same operation over and over again. It's good. Or you find that somebody is deviated from a procedure, and then you find out it's been going on for a long time because nobody ever got hurt, so they assumed it was okay. They could just do things, deviate the procedure, and nobody got hurt. Everything was fine. So let's kind of talk about some of the most common assumptions out there. And this is going to be kind of a short, sweet episode. I just want to go over a little story that a friend of mine said to me. Is he was walking through the plant, and of course I'm not going to give any names and companies, of course, as a safety guy, and he sees a electrician about to start some work. So he kind of goes over and he wants to watch. And of course, the electrician can kind of feel like, hey, there's somebody watching me. I wonder why they're watching me. So they get to talking, of course, and he says, hey, I see you over here fixing this thing a lot. He's like, yeah, it keeps breaking, it's getting jammed, it's getting, all that kind of stuff then, you know. So he goes into the whole, well, how do you know it's okay to work on? Just talk about lockout, tagout, dot dot dot, all that good stuff. Then, and the guy's like, well, yeah, they told me it was done. Hey, awesome. That's awesome that somebody said it was done, but you gotta verify. Gotta go back. And of course, this guy had done this over and over again. Assumed other people were doing those activities as he went to gather his tools and got stuff, and even had a ladder out and things, and so he never verified. He assumed everything was good. And, my buddy starts to kind of peel back the onion, talking to him. And he says, well, he verified it a couple times, but, after 10 or 15 times, it was always good. It was always the same. It was always, so I just stopped doing it. So the person was lulled into somebody saying, I'll take care of it. I'll do that lockout, tag out. I'll make it safe. You go grab your stuff. You get back here. You fix it. We'll put it back in service. Well, the guy got lulled into it. Now, luckily, of course, just like all the other times, everything was good. But one of the big things my friend walked away from is that it's the assumption that everything is good was the real big hazard here. Because if the guy had still said in his mind, oh, I've done this 50 times. Oh, every time it's good. Well, guess what? You still do it every single time. You can never depend on when somebody else says, I'll tackle it. You just get in there and fix it. Got to go back, walk through the process. And some of the things that we can do as safety professionals is not attack the person, but question the assumption out there. Person was doing what they thought was right. So let's not question that part of it then. Let's question the assumption. Just like, of course, we can't go back and say we always have to follow this one person because that's the person that we don't trust. But others, it's okay for assumptions. So we're questioning the assumption. We're not questioning the person. We're not questioning their ability. But how did you come up with this answer? You know, and so that's just a little thing that my buddy had talked to me about, and of course, this whole interaction is really fast, but it's more me and him kind of peeling back the onion, thinking to ourselves, hey, let's kind of put ourselves in other people's shoes. Like, what would make us do this? And then we kind of sat down and said, all right, so we're not going to attack the person. We're going to attack the assumption. How do we kind of come up with a good way of doing that? Because all of us know that at times we haven't always approached a hazard the right way. And we've come across people that leave with hurt feelings and, all that stuff. And that doesn't help to build those relationships at work. Because what we also want, of course, is to have that really good relationship that when something's wrong, People won't do it. People will come and ask us for help. They will do that kind of, and not just, I'm scared. I got to hurry up and get this done. So it really is a little bit of a balancing act, you know. So we kind of thought about it like, what could we really ask? And I guess some of the things that we could do are say things like, walk me through the process, you know. Oh, I'm walking by. Could you walk me through the process? You know, as opposed to asking the guy and just, right from the get-go, you know. So you could also say things like, hey, I don't understand the process myself. Let's walk through it together. Help me to understand, because as safety people, we can write awesome procedures from our cube. Doesn't always mean it's right, you know? So at times we have to not only get operator input, but how do we go back and you tell me, like, what I wrote, or what you wrote here, somebody else could literally say, go through step by step. And of course, I'm using this lockout tagout as a example, but you could use this for almost anything out in the workplace then. So with that, let's keep this one kind of short and sweet. I want to thank everybody for joining me. My name is Dr. David Ayers. Thank you, and have a safe day.